None of this would have happened, bro. Pop would have died. Fivio would have been in jail. Jaydee would have been in jail, bro. How? But one of the Hoovers contacted me, but Hoovers out there like, yo, Gutter, if you was around, that wouldn't have happened. Because, niggas be tapping in with you. My mind, like, bro, I don't want to talk to you no more. Ever. What you mean I had to be around? But he don't get it. He don't get it. You gonna see this.
What's the word? It's your boy Kha.Reality. I'm back with another one, in another one. Repping that 050, the movement. I hope y'all been enjoying the latest content. The movement that keeps moving, You know I'm back. I'm back better than ever. Yo, I know y'all been, tuned in, and if you haven't been tuned in, China Brim 050, he has been back from vacation, and he has been back. He put out a series. He put out a series with P. Gutter, Big Crip, Sig Well, whatever you want to call him. Bobby Schmurder, big homie. Fivio, big homie. Jaydee, big homie. All the 8 Deuce Trades, big homie. Stone Cold to the bone, crushing anything but the stone. Yeah, he was on 050 the movement. He was talking his mess, and he's not into the beef and stuff like that. He mentioned a couple people, but some topics that came up was Fivio and Jaydee. He said Jaydee and Fivio would not be in jail if he was home. Yes, he actually said that. He said they would not be in jail. We don't know how true that is. We don't know what will happen if what. But this is his opinion. He said Fivio wouldn't be in jail. He also said Pop Smoke would be alive. Yes, on this episode, y'all can go tune in. Part 2, I think it is. Or 3, he said it. But for some of y'all don't know who he is, y'all can listen.
What's up, boy? No, G-Stone Crip, don't get it confused. Hold up, baby. G-Stone Crip, don't get it confused. 8 Deuce Trade, we paved the way. New York, East Coast, on the East Coast, we did. Yeah, shout out to Psych Bite, we did. Shout out to all the homeboys up top, making it rough for everything else.
Yes, so he's up there. He was talking his mess. Like I said, he said something about, we're gonna talk about the pop stuff in a little bit, but he said some things. He said that, this is a guy. This is a reputable guy. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people do like him. He's a reputable guy in the community. Nipsey Hussle, you name him. He's been around. He's been around for a long time, and he has stuff to say. You know what I mean? So we listened to him talk, and he said that the problems between Jaydee and Fivio, they didn't mention the problems, but China said something to him to the fact of that he wished that they could get back together or something like that. And then he also said something about the pop thing. He said Hoover guys reached out to him. This is the guy that formed the JetBlue Alliance, with China Brim, one of the biggest alliances that we've seen with Crips and Bloods. The only alliance we ever seen on the East Coast with Crips and Bloods really in jails. So listen,
I would love to see if you could do this. I don't know if you're working on it, but I would love to see him and Jaydee together, man. That was
they me, when I'm around, everybody start talking. They stay talking, but that's quiet as kept. That's enough for the record. They talking. When I'm around, I practice people. Word. If I was around, none of this would have happened, bro. Pop would have died. Fivio would have been in jail. Jaydee would have been in jail, bro. How?
So he's saying if he was alive, it would have never been happening. But he talked about the Jaydee thing. He said, they wouldn't be in jail. They probably been moving smarter if they had somebody around them. People get locked up, before they get locked up, they don't have right people around them. Certain people be away from them. But the big thing was talking about the Pop Smoke thing. Pop Smoke was unalived in 2020. Everybody knows the story. The Hoover guys, the Hoover criminals, Crips, whatever you want to call, whatever they are. Yeah, those guys, they unalived them. You know what I mean? Everybody know the story about it. But in sight of that, he was talking about China brought up Envy Kane, and he talked about Envy Kane a little bit. But that was not the ideal thing of this content. This content was really about this, him talking about the Pop scenario.
This would have happened, bro. Pop would have died. Fivio would have been in jail. Jaydee would have been in jail, bro. How?
And him saying that, he's saying that guys tapped in with him. Guys from Hoover tapped in with him and said to him that, they actually said that to him. Dudes tap in with you, Gutter. This would have never happened if you was out. We see these same guys, the Hoover guys, they still diss Pop to this day. You know what I mean? They go out, the dude that said it was a mistake, he said that he wouldn't be trolling, and he actually, kept trolling, and he wore the Woo hoodie on 4th of July. We know about that. Y'all can tune in. But listen.
Said, but one of the Hoovers contacted me, big Hoovers over out there, like, yo, gutter, if you was around, that wouldn't have happened. Because, you know, niggas be tapping in with you. My mind, like, bro, I don't want to talk to you no more. Ever. What you mean I had to be around? But he
That's
don't get it.
crazy.
He don't get it. He gonna see this. It ain't no love lost, but it ain't no love. That's it. Like, no disrespect. You feel me? Like, you gonna call me to talk about my deceased little homie. The fuck? Excuse my language. You feel me? Like, I
That's
just
crazy.
I just be in my mind. I don't say nothing. I just, like, I'm not trained to talk on phones. Like, we the only gang in America that never been indicted, bro. Seriously. We the only
That's
gang
real.
that never been indicted out of 50 states. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a
China
Haitian.
will say, I will ask y'all to put it in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think that that has some merit? Does that have merit? If P Gutter was home, would the big homies of the Hoovers or whoever from Cali would have tapped in with him? It's a lot of people that talk about this. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I spoke to Pop before he went to before this happened to him." This, that. You know, I don't make the news. I just break the news. They talking about it. You know what I mean? This is something that's been going on. Like I said, Blackstar, he had wore the hoodie the other day. You know, people said he was trolling. You know, I guess he was acting dumbfounded. But remember, even Wack 100 said something about it. The game. So much people. Look, listen.
I guess they didn't listen to me. I get a call 3-4 days later. Blueface and the baby was shooting a video. Blueface called me and said, Pop want me to come through the studio. I say negative. I'm gone. He got some other shit going on with the vehicle. Right?
Do
Now,
y'all think this is facts? Do y'all think this is facts? I want y'all to put in the comment section because sometimes people might think stuff be overboard, but sometimes what people say do be the truth sometimes. We just gotta listen and hear.
I mean, you got rappers. How?
I want to ask you something. If you was on the streets, do you think Pop would have still been alive right now? Honestly.
Bro, all I'm saying is this. The last 2 times he called me, I was in prison. His chain was missing. He called me to help him get his chain back. So if he called me to get his chain back and I got his chain back, like that's enough said, bro. You know what I mean?
That's power.
That's crazy. If that really was the case, you know what I mean? If Pop could have been alive, if Fabi could stay out of jail. Like, and remember, he talked about the chain scenario. He even said something about the chain. Remember, P Films dropped something, 44 bands. Y'all can go look at it up. P Films, you know, he do the great interviews when it comes to the New York scene, drill scene, everything that's going on in New York. So remember, P Films last year, he spoke to the guy, Drizzy, about the situation about the Pop Smoke chain being taken. And, you know, P Gutter saying he's the one that got it back. Yeah, P Gutter is saying he's the one that got it back. And I don't believe stuff is far-fetched. You know what I mean? What reason do he have to sit here and come up here and cap? So you can even listen to, you know, the guy Drizzy talk about it, and we could go from there.
Long story short, Pop chain fell off, and the nigga Fettuccine P picked it up. Yeah. Who used to run with Foreign Side, if you know. Him and Swipey was close. Fettuccine P picked it up, right? And when he picked it up, supposedly Pop found out that niggas had a chain. Cause they ain't never called a nigga like, yo, niggas had your chain, you know what I'm saying?
But why was they going around wearing it, taking pictures?
And after that, you know, the guy Drizzy, he even said something about it. So, like, what P Gutter is saying, it might be right. Because remember, he said, the guy Drizzy said, yo, they both G-Stone, they both A-Deuce trade. They got to abide by certain things. You know, certain politics coming to, you know, just like two homies, they get into something. The big homie, oh, they can't act like this. They can't do this on camera. They can't do this. Or, you know, out in the limelight because they got to follow by certain protocols. And if y'all listen to the interview, P Films, the whole thing, look, listen.
Woo-woo. Them niggas ain't like each other, bro.
Wow.
They know it's get straight and they gotta abide by certain shit, you know what I'm saying? So they can't be out here on the cameras making each other look like fools.
Yeah.
But in all reality, them niggas wasn't close, bro.
Power.
It ain't even power. It's just like, what are you doing in the street? I gotta call me. And then the first time I said give it back, it was like an argument. What the fuck? Yo, we don't got it.
It was some great content. I ain't gonna lie. I had to sit there and I thought about it. I'm like, nah, we gotta, you know, we gotta holler at the reality community, and we gotta know what's going on. You know what I mean? P Gutter's been out here putting feet to the ground. You know, he's been a lot. So if he was home, maybe stuff would have been different. You know, maybe we could see this.
Make another one.
Yeah, remember the beef? Maybe it could be sold up now.
And I'll make another one. All I need is for the
maybe the beef can be sewed up now. Maybe it could go back to how it used to be. You know what I mean? Remember, them guys were together. They made great music, and it probably could be beneficial for both their careers if they can do that. You know what I mean? If they can do that, that'll probably be something big for, you know, Brooklyn, for the communities. Maybe we could hear, you know, how this used to be, how this used to not. Remember this?
Fivio, they don't know what they started. We yoga retarded, we still in that gang shit. And you know that's one thing we don't play, cause we your GD if you fully your brain split.
Yeah, y'all remember when that knocked. Everybody remember when that knocked. When that knocked, that was pain. So, like I said, man, we gonna see. We gonna go from here. Them guys probably will be home within the next few years. We don't know the situation for Fivio. He was talking about that. Like I said, y'all going 050 and listen to the whole interview, and we could go from there. And you know, y'all could put in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. But I hope y'all enjoyed the content. Put in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Salute.
The page Kha.realityTV, AHA.
Yeah, that's the one. That page is a movie. This nigga is covering all New York street activity, and it is a movie.
Listen, man, big shout out, man, to Kha.realityTV, man.
Hey, Kha.reality. If you know him, you know he was really was on that.